Another episode of our Sundays watch list. So first things first, we're gonna jump back to what I called for last week, and that was FireEye. So last week we saw FireEye at this drop, make a steep drop, but also what we did was analyze and saw what the news was gonna do with FireEye. We noticed that a few of their executives bought a lot of shares around that $18.50 level. So last week, we also noticed that there was a gap where we got highlighted in this area, and we see that it went up and didn't come up to fill this gap. So gaps are very powerful in the stock market, especially on good, solid companies. So make sure you pay attention to these gaps and understanding how to take advantage of the gaps in the stock market. So we see that we went from around 18 to about 2050, a nice $2 move in this stock, which could have made you some good money. So if you in this stock, just know that it's coming up to fill that gap soon. So it may create a level that has a bounce that's come to it. So make sure you pay attention to that bounce coming around that level of 2160. So 2160 could be a level where we bounce at, or it could be a level where it create a line of support if you're already in this FireEye play from last week. But let's go to our plays for this week's Sunday's watch list. And the first play that I got for you all is ticker symbol SNOW, also known as Snowflake. So we also see the same thing that we saw from last week is another gap. So we see this gap that is created from $248.14, and it has came up to this level. So the first thing we want to notice is try to come up and close this gap. We want to make sure we try to buy in or set our alert for this play, Snowflake, at around 242. So if it gets up to 242 and break that level, I can see this play going all the way up to about 247. So we got a nice $5 move on this play. So make sure you get you a nice good contract that may have a little time on it, unless you're day trading this. Okay, so you're gonna set your alert. You simply gonna hit the same thing we know. We're gonna hit this plus symbol and add alert for Snowflake. And so whenever we see the alert breaks and it comes onto our phone or laptop, email alert, however you got your setup on your trading view account, make sure you pay attention to that, and then we can enter to this Snowflake play. All right, so the next play that we have this week is ticker symbol PL AY. So we also say our play, but it is our play. All right. So same thing. We going back to these gaps. So we noticed that they had a small gap in the market, and it went down and filled that gap. So we zooming in. It was a gap down at 42. So this past week, this is Dave and Buster's company, and we know that Dave and Buster's had a good earnings report. So if I come down here and click, we can see that Dave and Buster's surpassed expectations for about 347%. So you got to understand how the world's opening up. People are spending money, people going out, people going to go watch sports. You got the NBA playoffs going. So people are going to enjoy and spend money and go to places for recreational things like that, such as Dave and Buster's. So that's why you saw this nice big movement on that day. But guess what? There was a gap. It came down and filled that gap. So I have a strong belief that we're going to create this level of support right above this gap. And we also, what I really like about this is that we have this 200-day moving average. So if it breaks this 200-day moving average at about 4309, we want to go ahead and get into this. It may come down and create a little support level at 4239, but we want to see it break 4309. All right. So you want to see it break 4309, and I can see it coming back up to this level about 46. So this could be another $3 move for this play right here. So 4309, that's where you want to set your alert. right there for ticker symbol play. Once it breaks that and you see it that it breaks and makes its way back up, your exit level, if it goes the wrong way, you want to get out of this play at 42.38. So let's utilize risk management, because we also can see this is the only level of support that we have down here. So around 41.86 is absolute lowest that you want to get there. But I want to see it break this 43.09 level for it to go all the way back up and possibly make a $2 or $3 run. This can make it run in within a day or two. So pay attention to this. You can make a nice, good little change on this play if it makes this run up in one day. If it makes you a good $2 move in one day. The next company that we have is ticker symbol TMUS, also known as T-Mobile. So what I like about T-Mobile, first things first, we go down at the bottom and we notice that we have a lot of different candles, but these are more just bars for volume. These are our volume bars. They are naturally down here. If you got Trading View, it should be automatically on Trading View. So all you're going to do is look at this, and we know that last 2 hours of the market on Friday, we had a lot of bullish volume. This green is telling us bullish volume. You want to pay attention to that bullish volume. So we have bullish volume. On top of that, we see that we're sitting on a moving average. This white line right here is our 26-day moving average. We are sitting on that 26-day moving average. So it's now created a level of support on the 26-day moving average. So we also, for us to look at this, we want to see where is the resistance level that it needs to break, or can it come up and bounce off to. You see the next pretty much level that we can see it break and bounce off to is up to 46, and then we can carry on to 48. But just to be a little bit smarter, guess what? We're going to utilize our pivot points. Okay, so we go pull up our pivot points, and if you don't have pivot points, you're just going to literally go right here and type in pivot points in your search bar for your indicators, and they'll pull up for you. So we're going to look at these pivot points. We can see right now we are sitting at around a pivot point, and I think should bring itself back up. We have this strong volume, bring itself back up and go up to this next pivot point at possibly 47, and it's going to be a level where it's going to hit or resist at around 46. Okay, so we want to buy in if it's still down on this level here. If it breaks here, let's buy in also. So we got two levels where I like it. I like the level that we're at, that's sitting at, and then also if we can go up and break this level, and we see these little dots above, these are parabolic stars. Okay, so if we break these parabolic stars, it gives us more of a bullish push up to that 47. Okay, so I like this. This might be a little day trade if you got day trades going. The next stock that I have, our final one, these are typically pretty cheap contracts. SIRI. So this is Sirius Radio, XM Radio. So the same thing we noticing, right? We sitting on the pivot point, sitting on that 26-day moving average. These contracts are usually cheap. So if you buy into these, I'll buy something about a week or so out and probably get something that may be nothing more than $15 a contract, maybe $20 a contract, and buy me a couple of them. That's how I'm looking into it. So we're going to go up to this level, and I see that we have a level of resistance up here at 692. Pretty much Siri doesn't have to make big moves in order for you to make any gains. But if you do get any big moves like we seen last week, we can see some good money out of Siri. Okay, so Siri does not need a lot of momentum for you to make money on those contracts. Those contracts are cheap. You will see a little gain, but this is if you're trying to have a small account and buy something, or if you're practicing and you're still trying to not spend a lot of money on the contract. Siri would be a good contract to go ahead and hop into. Okay, so like I say, $6.65. That is our support area. Okay, that is where we want to start at. So we see it at 674. I would like to buy in somewhere close to opening. The only way I wouldn't buy into it if it breaks below the $6.65. So we see it dropping down and we can get a bounce off this support. I would love to buy in right on that 26 moving average and work its way all the way up here. So this is where you want to pay attention and exit out. You go and possibly get you a good 20-30% growth out of that contract with this move right here. Possibly 50 if we can get good momentum. But we see a lot of volume on Friday. So that Friday volume was positive for us, but it's been sitting pretty stagnant and bouncing up and down on these levels. So now we see that Siri is above this 9-day moving average. So if we look right here, this yellow line right here is our 9-day MA. Okay, 9-day MA. This is something that you want to keep on your charts. But besides that, this is our Sunday's watch list. I want to make sure y'all all tap into everything that we have. So the next thing that we have coming up is our stock market trapping. We're going to do this every Tuesday, all day long. We're going to be in the market at 8 a.m. And I have a goal. We're going to start with a small account with $150 and we're going to grow it over $4,000 within a year. It's small account. We're going to grow it. I'm going to be on Facebook Live starting at 8 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time. So make sure you tap into that. If you want to learn, try to see how to grow an account. I'll be giving out tips on what I use and what I like to use in the market. Once again, I'm not a professional, but I'm just telling you what I like, what I see, and how I make money in the stock market. So make sure y'all follow me, tap in, let's take flight.